Renewed, renamed, redeemed. From Saul to Paul. Zealousness for the God of my ancestors drove me. Righteousness would be mine, righteousness of my very own making. Set apart in my mother's womb, I would stoically continue the traditions of my forefathers. At 8 days old, I was circumcised. I was from the tribe of Benjamin. We were Hebrews of Hebrews, proud of our family line. As soon as was suitable, I was under the tutelage of Rabbi Gamaliel. I grew in the knowledge of my family traditions and would dedicate my life to pursuing it. I was an excellent scholar and excelled in my studies. My mission was to become the best of the best. God's calling of excellence was already evident in my life. It would take a divine, life-altering encounter with Jesus Christ to sanctify the gifts that God placed inside of me. Once a Pharisee, I ignorantly persecuted the men and women who followed Jesus Christ. I would leave no stone unturned in hunting them down to be imprisoned or even martyred if need be. Little did I know that the day that I approved of Stephen's martyrdom was the beginning of the end of my blasphemous pride. After Stephen's death, I went to the high priest to get permission to go to Damascus to bring back other followers of the way to Jerusalem for persecution. Nothing would stop the trajectory I was on, or so I thought. I headed to Damascus with the letters from the high priest in hand, determined to make the believers in Jesus pay for their so-called betrayal of Jewish traditions. But I did not get that far. On my way, I was struck down by a blinding light from heaven. A voice accompanied the blinding light. "Saul, Saul, why are you persecuting me?" the voice asked. "Who are you, Lord?" I asked. The authority of the voice resonated in every fiber of my being. Along with my strength leaving, so did my eyesight. I was blind, not only spiritually. In God's mercy, He had the men accompanying me lead me to a house where I would remain for 3 days. 3 days, the prophetic significance of the 3 days would hit me later on in life. God called Ananias, a believer in Jesus, to come to me. Ananias was skeptical of me and all that I had done. That was understandable. Yet he obeyed God and came to lay hands on me. When he did that, my natural vision returned. When he prayed that I receive the Holy Spirit, scales fell off of my eyes and spiritual vision ensued, and my mission renewed. That was the day that Saul died and Paul was born. Instead of imprisoning people, I would willingly and wholeheartedly become a bondservant of Christ. The faith that I once persecuted would become the very faith that I would give my body, my life, defending. I was ridiculed, threatened, beaten, shipwrecked, falsely accused, bitten by a snake, and imprisoned for my faith in Jesus. Yet, I would do it all over again. My life was poured out as a drink offering. I ran my race, fought the good fight, and kept the faith. God saved me from myself on the road to Damascus. Blinding me physically to enlighten me spiritually was His purest, redeeming grace. The honor of laying down my life for the gospel of Jesus Christ was my greatest joy. The prayer that I may know Him, Jesus, and the power of His resurrection, and the fellowship of His sufferings, being conformed to His death, was heard and answered.